Hello, everybody, and welcome to League of Europe. We're back again here in Division 5 today at Belgium, and I'm joined again, but once again, by Mike. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, mate. Looking forward to this one. Absolutely iconic track, and does provide some good racing. But
Yeah.
it is going to be interesting to see how these guys handle the curbs. Yeah,
Yeah, curbs, a lot different. They seem to be very different every year, this game. I don't know, especially at this track, I don't know why they do make it so spinny. But it is what it is, and hope if the drivers can handle it, they'll probably be on for some good points as well by the looks of it, the other divisions. So, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And obviously, another thing with this track is, of course, the penalties. So easy to pick up warnings in Pouon uh, through on the exit of turn one as well. Quite easy to pick one up. Cambos section at the end of sector two. Well, it's very easy, and of course a corner with no names where it's so
It's
simple,
just
just drift
the
out
car just
wide
doesn't
on
want to
that
turn
corner.
in, does it?
It really doesn't. You kind of have to clip the inside curve and have a bit of a Tokyo drift session from it.
It's a very hard track to master. That's for sure. I think that's why most of us like it so much. To be fair,
Yeah, absolutely, and
it does look very dark though. I don't know.
yeah, it does look slightly British. This weather does. I'm not gonna lie, but Harry F is the first man out on track, and obviously he'll be the guy taking us through the
Yeah,
opening segment here, and very interesting because Harry F, I believe he had a good result last time out.
he
First
won.
time
Did
in.
if I'm did he? Hang on, let me check real quick the standings. I'm sure he won. Where's Harry? He did indeed win. Yeah.
Oh, great, mate. Let's go. Oh
Oh
no,
God, not again. No.
not again.
But yeah, Harry obviously off the back of the win last week, he's going to be wanting to continue that momentum here today. And I think we've said it all along. He's one of those drivers that does have pace, along with his teammate Ryan. It's just about keeping consistent for the 22 laps here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to bring up the championship standings, but I no longer have access to that channel, which is unfortunate.
I think I've got it in the comms. To be fair, I'll quick. I
Ah,
can
yeah, it's
quick.
in the conversation.
Yeah, as Harry does, I'll walk us through this lap quickly. So, into turn one, obviously, you got to make sure you get the best exit down to this absolutely ridiculously long straight, which I'm sure we'll see many overtakes as we go flat up Radion, or whatever everyone decides to call it this year. Down the second DRS straight. No, first DRS straight, third one, second one's at the end. Going into the end of sector one, which can cause a lot of people problems if you miss the corner slightly. He handles that very nicely indeed. Harry got power right early on the exit as well. Now down into the most tricky part of the track, which causes a lot of drivers, especially no ABS drivers, a lot of problems just because the car just rolls. Harry manages to do it very nicely though, and now down into another part of the track, which is tricky to get right. If you go wide, you very easily invalidate, but it keeps it nice and clean, very nicely done from the Williams driver. Going into the end of sector 2 now, keeping away from those curves, which is a very good thing to do.
Yeah,
And then,
absolutely. And look at the second split. It's a
yeah, 15-2.
15.2.
Seemed,
Not
if,
bad. What are you
yeah.
predicting for a pole position lap here?
I'm not too sure. I think this week more so than any, there's been a lot of split in terms of pace among divisions. So I'm saying maybe I can see a 42 happening.
Yeah, so give like some context now from obviously the division above in Division 4. I believe the pole position was a 42.4 in Division
Okay.
4.
And
So I think yeah, we could possibly see a very high 42, but you
Yeah,
know I think low 43s is where we're probably aiming at here tonight.
yeah. I mean, if it's anything like the gap between D1, well, D3 and D4, because I did a 42 one, which got pole. So it's going to be around maybe 3/4, which would put us at a high 42, I say. So if if you're around the 42 slash 43s, I think you're going to be well near the top of the grid for today's race, which isn't always the best place to start around here.
Yeah, let's see. Starting on the front row, you really don't want to be doing that. 'Cause obviously the long camel straight is going to be an absolute nightmare when you got a bunch of cars behind you slipstreaming you with VRS, and obviously here you do run a lower downforce setup compared to other tracks, so it's not going to be good if you qualify on the front row here.
Yeah, it's a very scary feeling. I can safely say going into the end of sector one on the first lap. I
And
think
there we go,
as
Lars with a 43 flag.
well, I think we'll definitely see a 42 today then.
Yes, that has confirmed our suspicions of a high 42 at least.
He's done that as a very quick lap as a banker, I must say. 8 tenths faster than the rest of the field so far. Just as he is leading the championship, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just wanting to improve on that every week, which is what you have to do, really. I'm trying to find a driver on a lap. Da, 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 da. Goes Recoms in the pits. Evo's not on a lap. What about Flip? Or Swip? Swip. He's not on a lap either. Right. Could someone be on a lap, please? That'd be nice. There we go. I think,
We have Don who's on a lap coming into the corner with no name, and
yeah.
clips the outside curb of on entry, and it does kind of kick the rear end into the corner as we go through Puon, and 7th gear, keeping it all within the track limits. Obviously, Don, as we know from previous seasons in LOB, can be very quick, and I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure he had a very good Belgian Grand Prix back in season 4.
I think he did. If you, I think you're right there. Obviously, he won the D4 title, and then did he? Was it almost like a Nico Rosberg-esque retired after season after?
Yeah, and obviously
But
he's come back in as a reserve. I'm not sure if he's got the full-time seat now in the
I'm not too
AlphaTauri,
sure. I'm
but
not in the D5 channel, so I won't.
yeah,
I'm not
same.
sure. But he did 6 at P9, which, as a banker, decent lap around Belgium. Is obviously it's such a long track that you can make so many mistakes around here.
And of course, another thing as well is that this is, in my opinion, this is more of a wheel track than a pad track.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're going to see some of the pad runners really struggling here to really match the guys on wheel, especially in this middle sector.
I would also say it's an ABS track. I think the middle sector,
Oh, it is.
you seem to gain a lot of. Well, I mean, every track is an ABS track, really, but the middle sector seems so much nicer to drive if you have ABS on. It just looks so much more flowing. But yeah, as we're halfway through the session now, and it feels like everyone's only done like half a lap. It doesn't seem like everyone's. All the laps just came in at once.
I'm on board with Ryan Belshaw, who went through what section now? Middle sector, 15.4. So this is kind of similar to Harry F's first lap in terms of pace. So
Yeah,
both of the Williams drivers seem to be matching each other, which is good for them in terms of their constructors. But
yeah.
Ryan wants to be further up there to challenge Lars.
Yeah, obviously, a few Ryan, obviously, one of the dri drivers trying to challenge Lars at the minute. It almost seems like an impossible task when you look at the standings, as Ryan does do an pretty much identical lap time to Harry F.
I mean, I should have put a lot on tonight. I'm good at predicting things like why did I not do it? That is the
Yeah,
question.
should have put a bet on it.
Yeah, I told you I only like betting in poker. It's like control things.
Heard it here first. As Harry begins
Obviously,
his second round.
yeah, Lars being a wheel driver versus Ryan, who is currently in third in the standings, being on pad. I I honestly think that Ryan's really going to struggle to really take the fight to Lars here tonight. I don't know, is Steve here? Don't think he is.
Unless he's changed his name to
Oh yeah,
F1.
F1
Oh wait,
Steven.
yeah,
Yeah, he
F1
is.
Steven. Never mind. Thought he was a reserve driver.
Yeah, so what's it called? Steve could be a good shout to get some good points here tonight. Obviously being another wheel driver.
Yeah, I mean, if the session ended like this, I think we might as well just hand Lars the win right now. Like that gap is sort of ridiculous. It's, between everyone else, it is like very close. Like there's 9 tenths separating P2 to P11.
Absolutely, and obviously Lars right now in a world of his own. I think, honestly, if I was Lars, I would just be chilling in the pits right now and just wait to the last possible minute, save the extra set of soft tyres at the end.
Yeah, in case of a safety car, anything could be. But I mean, could be a very valuable set of tyres.
Yeah, absolutely, and if his quality pace transfers over to race pace, uh, could we see it in only him getting decently far ahead in the race, but he could end up pulling a big enough gap that he could make that.
Fastest lap stop.
Yeah,
Unless there's rain, obviously, which, I mean, considering how quickly the weather's changed here already in qualifying, it could easily happen again in the race.
yeah. As we'll go with Fitnam's Ram, who has completely backed up with his lap coming up through Rouge and Fabian, so jump on board with someone else. Ghost is just in loudly.
I'm on board with Lars, to be fair. Just looking, he looks like a T3 driver here with the pace he's showing. He's 10th up on his lap as well. He's going to get almost a second lead to the guy in P2.
I mean, like I said, what's called the times in D4 were pretty competitive as well. The low mid 42s.
Yeah.
So Lars definitely showing at the moment at least good midfield D4 pace, top end of the midfield.
And that's a point. Wow.
And that would have put him on the second row, I think, in
D4. 9 tenths clear of VRS Major in second, who is on a lap at the minute, so just keep an eye on him as I try and find someone else finishing their lap. Is there? No, Swip's not. Flip isn't valid.
Steel Killer's 3 tenths up at the moment, so this could be in contention jumping all the way up into second.
That's a big gain for him, for the Red Bull driver.
Let's just see where his bus stop chicane is like, and me personally, I really struggle with getting the traction out of this corner.
Oh, it's horrid, yeah. Even the midpoint of the corner, the car just wants to slide every time.
Yep, and Steel Killer jumps up into 4th. So
nearly P3 as well. Look how close.
Major's 3 tenths up, he's almost 4 tenths up.
On a flyer of a lap at the minute, Major.
Yeah, as he runs through Boulogne-Chaumont. Minimum time lost is already pops up into second provisionally, but I think Major's going to absolutely eclipse that.
Yeah.
Kind of an awkward bus stop chicane, let's say, so definitely lost a bit of time there, but he's improved to a
That's
43.2.
he must have made some sort of mistake in that final sector too. Like, I
Yeah,
know
near
he's
the
a
bus
few
stop
temps
chicane.
up. It's easy 2-3 temps in that bus stop chicane, and by the looks of it,
Yeah, so I was on board with him, and from what it looked like on my end, is he just did not have the right line going into it. He was too tight into the corner, clipped that inside curve, and then slammed on the brakes again, ruining his
yeah,
momentum coming through to the final part of it.
it's just yeah, it's a tricky corner to master. Like if you nail it, you know when you nail it. If you know what I mean. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. As Steve-O is now on a flying lap as he runs up through Eau Rouge, the top of Ravion now onto the Camel Straight. Obviously, this track being a track where obviously you need some downforce for the middle sector, but you also want some good straight line speed for 1 and 2. Like, what would you prioritize here, downforce for the middle sector or straight line speed?
I went with straight line speed, to be fair, and it worked quite well in the race. I must say, it helps a lot when there's a guy 6 tenths back, and even with DRS, he's struggling to make a move. So I would say if you can keep it, if you can keep the pace up in the middle sector, which I was luckily able to do, I'd 100% go with the straight line speed. It's so effective. It's one of the most important things you need around here.
Yeah, obviously, it's one of those tracks as well where even if you do go for the high downforce in the middle sector, you're really going to be seeing a huge amount of time gain through this. So even if you can survive, running down the Camel Straight, maybe using your ERS, if you can break away in that middle sector, you're pretty much looking very decent as we got Steve to the line. Almost a 3 tenth improvement, jumps up into fourth.
Once again, I think almost a tenth separating P3 to P10 now, which is absolutely mental.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, this track obviously being such an iconic track, everyone I presume would have done a huge amount of running on the circuit, even if it's not in preparation for this race tonight.
Just for fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where, like potentially Silverstone, where you just see, and Austria for that matter, where you just see the time so close between everyone because everyone's driven it so much over the course of this game so far.
Just one of those classic tracks, isn't it? You just jump on if you're bored, and you can happily drive here, and just so it does seem to be showing. I think by looks at the times, as it's a lot closer than I think I've seen any other division today, in my opinion, especially from barring the front two guys who are kind of in a world of their own at the minute. It's ridiculously close.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on board with Lynx as I think is going to pull off into the pit lane, and yes.
I mean, we do have 10 seconds left of the session, apparently. I don't think that's true, however.
Oh, he jumped up into third. I thought he was going to pull off into the pit lane. I saw the red light flashing on his fuel. I thought he was done for the session.
Apparently, according to us, it is the end of the session. So I don't. There seems to be too many people in the pits for it to be the end of the session, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, only time will tell. I mean, I'm on board with Jazz Games right now, coming from the middle sector. 3 temps up in the middle sector, so Jazz could jump Reich here, maybe even get Don. Obviously, Reich has the checkered flag out, so we're going to presume he's done for the session, but Jazz could potentially get 2 cars here.
Yeah, if she finds herself around P14, it's a good way to use the ultra track to your advantage here. It's very effective, I think. She unfortunately just stays P17.
Yeah, and we got Ryan now to the line. Ryan improves by 2 times, gets him up into 4th place.
It's Don is apparently 7 times up on his lap as well.
Yep, Lars is backed up with his lap. I think Harry F has invalidated on his, so he's not going to do the checkered flag. Here comes Don steering wheel now. The line DRS wide open, and it's going to be a 9-10 improvement, gets him up into 10th, which...
I mean, it's a place maybe you don't want to be. No, I mean, he's only 2 thousandths faster than Flip, so it's not much he could have done in almost trying to force a P11 out or something. But I'm sure he'd still be happy because with his lap, as his pace is clearly there. Looking at the times.
And so we got Lars leading the way by exactly 0.4 of a second at DRS Major.
Yeah, and that is the end of the session. That went really quick, I won't lie.
Yes, it did. Do you want to take us through the Yoda?
Okay then, sure. So Lars on pole by a major 4/10 of a second to, funnily enough, Major in P2. And then Licks in the Alpine in P3, good qualifying from him. Ryan P4, Aledi P5, Steve-O in P6 in the Alfa Romeo, Swip P7, Ghost Recon in 8th, Serial Killer 9th, Don rounding out the drivers to start on the softs in P10, Flip 11th, Marcy 12th, Harry 13th, Joseph 14th, Frento 15th, P Reich 16th, Jess Gavin 17th, Mason 18th, Ibo 19th, and Emperor rounds off the grid in P20.
Yeah, I always just call him Reich.
Right, yeah.
This is easier. When it comes to names that you can't pronounce, it's better just to pick one part of the name that you can pronounce.
Yeah. Just call him P then. It may be my best bet. As it looks like a very sunny Belgium for this race today.
Yeah, I was speaking to Ibo earlier, and he was hoping for a dry race today. He did not want to see the wet conditions.
Well, he's got what he wishes. He's got what he's wished for, so I'm expecting an Ibo win today.
I mean, I've said, I'm expecting an Ibo win, and he said he's going to do his best. And
which is all you can ask for, really. Yeah.
Everyone knows what that means. It's going to mean Ibo taking all 26 points here tonight.
I think, yeah, that is the only logical.
This goal is going to absolutely explode.
Just like it did a few weeks ago. Not, but literally. That was a very confusing few days, that was, I must say.
Honestly, I reckon an Ibo victory would be the biggest thing to ever happen to Eloise.
Easily. 100%.
So I don't think we're going for another championship. Nah, Ibo victory.
Nah, that's the same. That's boring.
Yeah.
You don't see the Ibo win often. So looking at the tyre selection, Emperor is the only one with the hard tyre selected. Ibo, Mason, Jess, Harry and Flip all going for the medium tyres for the Ultra Strat, and then Marcy, Joseph Frento and Reich all on those soft tyres trying to get a good start and get past the likes of Harry and Flip. What do you think's the best strategy here, Mike?
Well, I would recommend going on the softs to start with, just for the fact that if there's an early safety car,
yeah,
you're on the right tyre to switch off of. I do think soft mediums are the better strategy.
Definitely.
If there's no safety car and you can stick with the guys on the softs, so medium soft will definitely work for you. But
I think if there's a lap 1 safety car, I think the medium tyres will be fine because they can just pit in for the hard. Because I'm not too sure that the mediums can do the entire race, if I'm honest.
Well, I actually have a little bit of an information here for you then.
Oh.
I had wing damage on lap 2, so I had to pit at the end of lap 2.
Okay.
I chucked on the mediums and then I boxed for softs to go for the fastest lap at the end. Around lap 17 of my tyres were on 40 close to 50% ones, so they can just about make it to the end, I think.
I might have to sack my Jeff then. because I got told different, but
I mean, I'm just decent with my tires, so
yeah,
if you wear your tires out considerably, then
obviously go for the hards.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. So, do you want to run us do the red lights?
yeah, I can do as we wait for everyone to get into the final grid positions, and it is Emperor we are waiting on. And now we'll wait for these 5 red lights to come on. Here we go, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and we are underway, and it looks like a very good start there from Lars, immediately covering off ERS Major, and Major gets the jump on links, and Brian Belshaw tries to send it around the outside, and Letty gets a
There's
bit
a
of
lot
a
of people
spot.
wide there. I think they've all came back on track just right. As Major's going around the outside of Eau Rouge. What a
Oh my god,
what
and
a
who's
oh
that in the
my
wall?
god,
It's right in the wall, at the top of Radion.
that's got to be a safety car, surely. Only,
Yes, I think full course.
I think we may have just seen one of the best moves of the season as well, though, by ERS Major, round the outside of Radion or Eau Rouge or whatever you decide to call it. He's done the
It's
move
right.
on Lars and got the lead. Absolutely amazing move from the Haas driver.
Yeah, so Eau Rouge is the bottom of it, Radion the top of it.
Okay, so he did it in between the Eau Rouge and Radion then?
So he done a Weber Alonso type
Yeah,
move. Love to see it. I
very
wasn't on board
impressive.
with it. I just scrolling back through and I saw Ryan peel off into the wall, which is
Yeah,
obviously. I mean, we said he would struggle here being on pad, but actually it's a
I didn't.
VSC, so it wasn't a full course safety car.
Yeah, I was going to say the VSC's already over. It's very shocking after that. I mean, that sort of crash, I mean, it'd be more of a red flag than it, if anything. So, as the race does get back underway once again, and Lars is all over the back of Major, just trying to get that position straight back from him.
Yeah, there's a lady's gonna look around the outside of the bus stop chicane on links for P3,
He's
and
got
links
it
go
done.
back out.
Very nicely
Oh,
indeed from the Ferrari
look
driver.
him slip out of nowhere.
Where did that come
Alongside.
from? I've no idea where that came from.
Links went very, very deep to try and get a run on a lady on the exit, and just
Uh,
allowed Swift to really get his nose on the inside and really put the man in the Alpine under pressure there.
One driver I'm going to mention is Flip. On those medium
Very
tyres,
good start.
he's had a he's already into P6. He could be, if he can stay with this lead group now, from the well, maybe not Lars and Major, but the likes of Aledi, Lix, and his teammate, he could be on for a podium here.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's called flip up 5 positions from P11 as we got Don Steerenwheel and Frento there having a battle. Frento also up a good amount of positions. He's up 6 positions off the start and trying to stick his nose back in on Don Steerenwheel, but backs out real smartly. And yeah, I mean, a good start from both of these guys, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's been apart from the Ryan crash. Oh, as Frento's round. But I was going to say it's been a very clean start for all the drivers, which is what you want to see, really.
Yep, and unfortunately, the commentator's curse happens again. And I can only apologise to Frento.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I did say it after it happened, but I was just about to
Yeah,
say so.
I
Yeah,
said he was doing good. Yeah, I take full responsibility for that, Frento. I do apologise.
Frento, you can blame Mike. Don't worry.
Yeah, just blame Mike. Everyone does. It's all good.
Sad boy hours. As
So,
Lars is all over the back of Major. Yeah, I think there's going to be a change for the lead in a minute.
yeah, absolutely. And obviously, with DRS enabled now, it's going to be extremely difficult for Major to even combat this. He's going to be absolutely swamped with DRS.
Yeah, I think it's a set and sail move. Yeah, DRS, slipstream, ERS, the lot.
Actually,
Hang
might be
on.
able to fight this.
I'm going to go around the outside. Can he
Oh, a
give
bit of
room?
contact there, and
They're both. Oh,
Major goes over the curb.
I don't know
Oh,
how
as
he's.
Lars loses it, he has a bit of a snap, and Major runs into the back of him. Is that wing damage for Major now?
I don't. I hope
Officially.
not. It doesn't seem to be, but very clean racing from the both of them there. As
Yeah,
Frento's got. Yeah, Frento. You can message Mike. It's all his fault. Unfortunately,
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't. I wouldn't retire personally, but as I said, still.
I don't think he would have had a choice in that. Looking at where his car is on track.
Mm. Oh wait, no. I think he has. Yeah, never mind. Thought he retired in the pit lane.
Nah. But obviously, with the battling now, Lars has really pulled away from ERS Major, so maybe I was right in thinking that he may have picked up a bit of wing damage.
I don't. Well, I would have thought the likes of a Lady and that would have also start to catch as well, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
I mean, ERS Major is definitely using his ERS right now, especially on these straights, as he's
Yeah,
run out of deployment for the lap.
he's trying to keep in the DRS of Lars. I think. I think
Yeah,
Lars isn't too bothered by it, to be honest. However,
yeah, but he is going to be in DRS range. I wonder if he's just got like a light green damage, or it just
yeah,
doesn't show up, but you feel it. The phantom damages is
could
commonly
easily
known.
be the case. As Don gets the move done on Stevo and up into P7 for the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, and actually, here goes Marcy on Steve as well around the outside.
As Flip gets past his teammate and into
Steve
P5 as well. A lot of drivers make a move here at the early stages of this race.
honestly, right now, honestly, Aledi has dropped back a decent amount. I think that was just because of ERS Major having DRS down
Yeah,
in the straight. But Aledi is definitely under pressure right now from Lynx, and these two battle. It's going to
Flip,
bring Flip
yeah.
and Swip into it. And Don, actually. Don's straight under the back of these guys.
Don seems to have really good race pace at the minute by the looks of it. He's been cutting
He's
his way
hitting
through the
curves
field
as well.
really
How's he
nicely.
doing this?
Yeah, I'm going to have to message him after how he's hitting these curbs. I
Yeah.
certainly can't. And he
I was
nearly
going to
touches
say,
that wall, which would have been the end of the
everyone's
race
done it
for
at
him.
least. Everyone's done it
Yeah,
at least once.
it did happen in today's race as well in my division. But,
I did it in quali.
eh,
I got away with it with no ERS Majors into the pits
that's
already,
very
so
early.
definitely wing damage, and I would presume.
You would guess so. Unless he's gone for a
Actually,
major undercut on Lars.
no, there's a front wing ready for him, I think. Oh, no, there's no front wing ready for him.
It's just a major undercut.
Okay, this is interesting now, because, I mean, as I said, you can, just about make it to the end. I'll see.
They were clearly listening.
Yes. So is that going to be another person to blame Mike if it doesn't work out?
No, because you
Mason,
said from lap 2 he would make it to the end, so they
I
should.
mean, I could make it. Like,
Lap 5 you can make it from the end, so lap 4 should be just fine. As there's a Ferrari around at Radion.
Ghost.
Yeah, looks to be Ghost. Especially considering we're in the Leddies in P2 at the minute. As
Lars is in a world of his own right now. I mean, we did say earlier, kind of jokingly, that he may be able to build enough of a gap to make an extra pit stop. And right now,
he's not
he's
even
kind of
far
on
off.
course to do it.
Yeah. Hang on. So it's an 18-second pit stop here, as he majors around 18 seconds back. So he's nearly done a third of a pit stop. He's got a third of a pit stop gap to the rest of the field already.
Yeah, absolutely. As Lex is all over the back of a lady trying to get away through, and you got a flip right behind on these mediums, and the mediums are now going to slowly become the better tyre.
Because Swift's made the decision to get an undercut on these drivers, which may turn out to be one of a very good move. As Aledi does seem to be holding everyone up quite a bit here.
Yeah, but I think Aledi's going to be an absolute sitting duck here on this back straight. As
You'd say that he's
well, you
has
go
flipped.
flip on the legs. Fantastic.
What a move by the Aston Martin driver. As
Oh,
Joseph's
Joseph's
out,
out.
could that be a
Yes,
safety car?
no.
I was going to say might should be a safety car really, considering where it's crashed,
I mean,
but
we've seen safety cars
for
at
much
this
less.
circuit for much less. But I think recently, if you DNF on the track, instant safety car. If you're off track,
Oh
like
yeah,
when you
if
go
it's
off a
wide.
rally, yeah, because you're not actually on track, they allow it.
Very interesting feature from Codemasters. Not sure why, but
I mean, it's somewhat similar to what you get in real life. Obviously, if it's debris all over the track, they bring out a VSC or a full course safety car. But if you DNF and you're off track, they will either just have the double yellow flags up
yeah, that is
towards the
very
car,
true.
or they pull out the red flag.
And they don't have the ghosting system in real life either, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got flip now all over the back of Aledi as Lars is in, so we'll get to see the gap between Major and Lars now. And Major is coming to the bus stop chicane as I believe he is going to get the jump on Lars here.
Uh, he should do with 2 lap fresher tyres. I'd be
Yeah,
surprised
so
if he
they're meeting
didn't.
side by side on the exit. And there
He's
goes
well
Major.
clear. However, now Lars does have 2 lap newer tyres than Major, so I'm guessing that gap's just going to be
Flip
brought
has
right
got
back in.
Aledi as Harry F gets through on serial killer. The mediums are definitely the tire to be on right now. If you're still on the sauce on the start, this is a big sign saying that the
Yeah,
mediums are the better tires.
yeah, 100%. The softs are really not the tyre you want to be on now. Yeah, if you're on the softs, you gotta pit this lap really. As Marcy is all at the back of his teammate, which means one of these AlphaTauri drivers will have to go the next lap.
Yeah, and considering Don is the car ahead and does not have a penalty to his name, I think he has the preference. I think
Yeah, definitely.
a Major has picked up a penalty, so that's huge for him. See, doesn't want to be picking up too many of those penalties because right now he has a 1.4 second gap to Lars behind.
As there is another yellow flag. F1 Mason, yeah. As I will say, Flip hasn't really unless he's gone for another
He
lap.
stays out and Don and Licks are in.
So I'm guessing this is the last lap for both. I'm guessing Marcy will definitely come in this lap now that Don's pit.
Yes, and let's have a look and see how much Whip has gained here on these guys as he's into turn 1 now. He's already past everyone. He will have DRS on right as well. In fact, Licks is right there on the exit, and he's just about going to get ahead of Licks, and he's going to be right on the back of right coming up through Rouge and Radion.
He's had to lift off slightly, which may give Lick a slight chance here.
Oh, here goes Swept down the inside, and Licks is going to try and send it. Oh, he actually goes into the back of right there. I'm not a fan of that.
No, it's not. It's not the way you want to be overtaken.
I think he's so indecisive there whether he wanted to follow Swift down the inside or tuck back in behind.
Yeah, he couldn't really make his mind up, and it's cost him. It's cost Reich a lot there, which is not what you want to see.
Yeah, and we're going to see how Licks gets on in this middle sector. as because he did go into the back of him. He could also have the very slight wing damage, but right now, very difficult to say. In fact,
as Don's right all over the back of him, so unless like Lix is just having a bad lap, I think he might have damage.
absolutely, and Lars seeing that ahead of him, he is loving life right now. He sees the flashing red light saying ERS Major has a major ERS problem right now.
You had to get that one in, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And I am not regretting it whatsoever.
I'm gutted I didn't think of it myself, to be honest. Awesome line. As Eledi and Marty do eventually make their pit stops, and they've been jumped by all of them.
Yeah, in fact, Steve-O's going to get ahead of... Oh, actually, backs out. Steve-O could have got ahead of Marcy there, but backed out as they would have been side by side going into Eau Rouge.
Which is not what you want to be doing.
No, and Steve-O, I don't think has the...
As Don's going, looking for a move on Lix, even though Lix has the RS. Trying to force him into a mistake, maybe. It looks to have worked. As...
He sends around.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting race that we got going on right now, because obviously Flip right now has a 9-second lead to Major. Obviously Major having that 3-second time, but he's got 18 seconds to his teammate, 18.4.
Which is about a pit stop.
Yes, if Flip can get out in clear air ahead of his teammate,
He
on
could.
fresh soft tyres at the end, he could closing the gap to Lars and Major.
Especially with Major having a penalty, if Flip's able to keep it clean. Obviously he's going to lose a bit of time at the minute with the tyres as they are.
Yeah, and obviously his teammate is going to be battling the likes of Don, Lix and that soon, so they're going to be scrapping it out and losing time.
Yeah, every little battle here is helping Flip out massively, especially if there's a safety car of any sort, or even a virtual safety car in a few laps' time.
Oh, so Lady goes into the back of Don there, punts him slightly out of shape going into the corner, and that might have just unsettled Don, but it's put a Lady right on the back of him.
And it's given a chance for Lix to have a go at Swip as well.
Lady picks up a 3-second time penalty on top of Radion, and Don is using everything here as I'm having a few connection issues as Don maybe wanted to have a little luck to follow Lix through, but Lix able to get down to Swip there. Fantastic
recovery.
Lix,
and now Don's gone for it.
Bit of contact.
Slight contact. Just good there, and he does force his way past.
Lix backed out and the lady goes into the back of him. Good
move there from Don, opportunistic. Slight contact, but it's more than fine. A bit of wheel banging. Good close racing.
Yeah, fantastic move from Swip to get back ahead of Lix.
Yeah, he's got a perfect run on through the right-hander, was it? I don't know. Either way. As it is getting very dark.
Yes, I have noticed that, and I don't like it. I don't like these clouds at the halfway
That's
point.
Harry's pit. Not too sure why. There's no way the soft surely go from here.
And I think there's white ball tyres. Yeah, he's putting on the hards.
Wow. He must have really bad tyre wear then if he's gone medium hard. As now Lars looks to get the move done on ERS Major. He's got more ERS, DRS. He sails past and back into the lead of the net lead.
And that's massive for Flip as well, picking up that 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, massive for Don as well, because...
Oh, and he also led it down the inside as well.
Brilliant move from Meledi.
and I'm not quite sure what happened to Lex, but he's dropped back. Aledi somehow managed to get past him.
Yeah, and then he's done. I think we might have missed something there.
Yeah, I think we have missed something.
Not too sure where as well because I don't even remember the position changing on the screen.
Uh, right, I know Aledi's managed to get past Lex, and
And now he's got past Whip as well, and he's on the back of Don.
yes,
He's got some very good pace in that Ferrari at the minute.
it might just be a Ferrari day,
Yeah. Ferrari does seem to be very quick in general. In most divisions.
Yeah, as Don is taking a huge amount of time out of Flip, so it's looking like Don and Aledi have the pace to really
Keep
get
up.
themselves maybe a
Yeah.
couple of seconds ahead of Flip once he makes that pit stop.
Which is all what they need, especially with the softs being as fast as they will be. With this reduced temperature as well, giving Flip maybe a few extra laps, maybe they could go on the softs.
Yeah, but as Aledi almost goes straight into the back of Don there, and I think that's the power of ABS there. In turn one.
Yeah, it's a very overpowered feature, which shouldn't be as overpowered as it is, in my opinion.
It
But
really shouldn't. Like the game should favour like
no
no assist.
assist. Yeah, racing line I can understand to a certain degree why it's quick, but ABS there's really
I
no need
mean,
for it to be quick.
the thing with the racing line is it's not the quickest. It's just a guide for the corner.
Yeah, it can. It's a very useful thing to
It
have.
just improves your consistency.
Whereas ABS, it's just
Ridiculous.
yeah, it shouldn't be that fast. The car not locking up shouldn't make the car worse to drive.
Especially at the start of the game, where if you had your what's called brake bias below 55,
Yeah,
you're donezo.
they have tried to make it a little bit more stable now. To be fair to Codemasters, but it's still very overpowered as we saw going into turn one today.
Yeah, absolutely. And already trying to break away from John, and already has quite a lot of ERS to work with. Definitely looking good for Aledi, and for Flip right now. To my knowledge, he's going to be about 2 seconds at least behind Aledi, about a second behind Don. Let's see if he
Yeah,
makes his pit
and
stop.
Don's obviously going to be dragged along by Ledy's DRS to a certain extent at the minute. Meanwhile, Swip, Licks, and Marcy are battling like
Oh,
mad. So
battle for the lead. The net lead as ERS Major all over the back of Lars with DRS.
will he get the move done? He
He
does
gets back right
indeed,
in front of him.
very nicely. Obviously, you don't want to be stuck on the inside going into that corner. I know that from D3, and but Major does very nicely. I don't know if Lars made some sort of mistake or just Major has the pace to keep up with him at the minute, but he certainly seems to be very quick at this stage of the race, Major.
Yes, the unfortunate thing for Major though is that penalty, and that is going to come back to haunt him, I think, by the end of this.
Especially with, I don't think either of these drivers can get out of each other's DRS by the looks of it. So if it stays like it is,
because of his ERS advantage.
true. But saying that, look at Elodie and Don. Don's not managing to keep up just with Elodie.
Yeah, and this is going to make things difficult for Flip, and Flip's in now.
It's a very early stop. Wow.
I'll see where he comes out. Predicting him to be out just ahead of his teammate, but we will see if this is going to be a quick pit stop for him.
He has to. It's going to be very important for his race to be ahead of his teammate. And he is.
Just
That's
about
massive.
to make the left DRS, so
I don't think he will actually. Oh wait,
Yeah,
just have DRS. I don't think it'll make much difference, unfortunately.
oh, yeah, he does have it. Here we go, but this will help Swift defend from behind. As I am focusing on the halos right now, just in case that the clouds they are out. It's a little bit brighter now, but
It's not dark yet. That's when you
yeah,
usually
it's
know
just
it's
a bit
raining.
murky.
Think I can't. I don't think Flip would appear this early if there was a chance of rain, in my opinion.
Well, we will see as already broken away from his teammate quite considerably. He's actually
Um,
just driven straight off. I think that's his wheel or controller disconnecting,
it certainly looked like it. I was on
and
board
that's a
with him, and
full course.
it, it didn't break. Didn't his accelerator went off as well.
Yeah,
That's a
that.
massive. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, obviously, last week we had the issue with Jav, unable to get back into the lobby when he was in a shout for the podium. This week we got a flip, which looks like a complete disconnection of his wheel or his controller. I'm not sure for when he's on. I'll actually check that now. Um, but yeah, absolute
That's
heartbreak for Flip.
as Major's pit.
He's put on a first set of mediums now.
Would you would have put on? Surely you put it on softs.
Yes, the soft tires are Swip and Serial Killer, Evo, Marcy. Yep.
Rest of the field are going for softs. I think Major's made a bit of a mistake here. I think he's judging it off how fast Flip's pace was on the mediums, which may have been the wrong thing to do. Because obviously Flip had pace at the start, but these softs now are going to be so much quicker with lighter fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, we wait to see how this is all going to go. And I know Lars in a good spot, but fresh tyres behind him. That could
Yeah,
mean all the difference.
everyone behind Lars has got fresher tyres than him. So he's going to be worried for sure. As we wait for the likes, I think the safety car may be out for a lap or so. As we will have to wait for everyone to come round. But it's an almost a 5 lap sprint now, ish. So yeah. I'll quickly check the penalties. So everyone has 3 seconds apart from Emperor and Ghost Recon, who has 6. So they can definitely get work that gap back out if they need to. Time will tell if they've got the pace to get the gap to the guys behind though.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, looking right now, if you're Lars, obviously you're going to be worried about ERS Major on those fresh mediums being in fourth. You're going to be worried about Aledi and Don as well, because they were looking pretty quick, and I'm not sure if they were actually catching before the safety car came
I
out.
think they were doing very similar times. And it's raining. It was. It's 100% raining.
Yes, we did mention it earlier, and this track, when it is raining and it's not quite intermediates yet, is so treacherous, it's unreal.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would you pit then? Surely, if you know it's gonna. I'm startled to why people have decided to pit then if they knew it was gonna rain. I mean, the softs will give you an extra lap, extra bit of grip in the dry to wet periods, I guess. But I'm very confused to why Major's pit on mediums then, if so.
I'm guessing because it's such a long lap, I'm guessing he hopes it's going to take a while for the track to really get to the Indus, so it
Yeah,
makes it worth it
it
for
looks
him.
very light rain at the minute, I must say.
Yeah, I think we could have a similar situation. I believe he was involved in it back, I think, in season 2,
Oh
where it
God.
was at Spain and it was raining for the entire race, but never went
Oh
into the
yeah, yeah. I
conditions.
think I was involved in that one. Yeah. Oh God, that was treacherous. Oh, I
Yeah,
hated that.
I've brought up some bad memories for you, haven't I?
I need it either to be fully wet or not wet at all. I can't do in between. It's
Yes,
too scary with no racing line.
and no ABS as well.
Yeah, obviously. I think no BS
If
is
that is
slightly
in
better in the rain though. It does it feels like you have more control of the car in the rain with no ABS. I think. As the safety
yeah,
car is in this lap, so if Lars can time this restart perfectly, he may have a good chance to get away here, which is very important for his race. If so, now that the rain's come in.
yeah, and the interesting thing, I'm on board with Harry F right now, who's kind of trying to get alongside the ERS Major, and the ERS Major's
And he's
trying to get
gone.
alongside. Yeah, he's absolutely
He's
bolted,
gone
and
very
Don's been
early.
quite happy.
Yeah, Aleddy's managed to keep up with Lars very well. However, Don has got Major all over the back of him here. Major's going to be wanting to get that move done straight away.
Yeah,
As
he's having a look
Aleddy's
down the inside.
locks up, he keeps it tight, keeps it clean. Just can't get the exit. Same with Major on Don. I would not want to be going up here right now in these conditions, that's for sure.
Yep, not the best really. Going as Lars goes very defensive to the inside, and they stay
As
ahead.
Marty's going to get the move done on Swift by the looks of it. Down the inside,
Oh, bit of contact.
just about keeps it going. Very lucky to survive on that auto spin
And
curb.
Steve-O, he went for a little lunge on Licks there, backed out and cut the corner, but he's still trying it down the inside of Licks for P8.
As now Lars has got a bit of a stable gap by the looks of it to Aleddy now.
Yeah,
And Don is
Don's
all over the back.
yeah, Don's starting to
This
close
is a
back in. We've got
bit of a
US
role
Major
reversal
as
here,
well.
just before the rain. As they are all keeping up with Lars, however, quite easily. So
Yeah,
it's all about if there's enough rain and who can time the stops the best. Now,
yeah, and here comes a lady. He's using his ears. Surely not a blanche one. He's going to stick him behind. He's run out of deployment. That's how much ears he's used on this lap. And he's not going to be close enough to make a move, but he's so close to the rear wing of Lars right now that once DRS gets activated,
he's a sitting duck, surely, Lars.
yes.
As Major's looking for the move
Major
on Don. He's going to
around
try
the
around the
outside.
outside. Surely not. As he's now got the better exit. Oh god, no, not here.
That's not here.
One of you back out,
Not in these
please.
conditions. Oh no,
Oh,
that was
heart in mouth moment there.
yes. As Harry is battling Swipping behind for fifth, both using their ears and having a bit of a drag race down into the next corner, and Swip's on the curb, and that is why you don't touch that inside curve.
Yep. I feel your pain, Swip. Nothing you can do there, unfortunately. As Harry on these hard tyres is doing very well indeed. To be fair, I thought he'd drop very quickly. If I'm honest.
Yes, as Major, I think is starting to get a little bit impatient behind these guys.
He certainly looks impatient, and now there's rain dots on the screen. So, it's getting heavier. It's getting heavier.
is it going to get heavy enough to warrant the?
I hope so. If I'm honest, I want a bit of
It's,
chaos to the last few laps.
I mean, the thing is, like, obviously with the rain falling, it is starting to get heavier. But
There's
is
not
it
many laps
worth a
left.
20
Yeah,
second pit stop now? That's going to be the question that going through
it's
everyone's heads.
yeah, it's how heavy it gets. Because it's a long lap here, so yes, it's only 3 laps, 2 laps, but it's a 2 minute long lap time almost in the rain.
DRS has been enabled, so now we're going to see if Lars is going to be able to hold on to this lead. He had a much better exit out of turn 1, so I think he's going to be fine for this lap at least.
I don't know, they've kind of gapped the rest of the field. Marcy is trying to close them in. Don looks the closest out of anyone to make a move at the minute.
Steve-O.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was talking about the top 4, to be fair.
It's disgraceful.
Sorry, Steve. Good move. I did catch the end of it. It's all right.
Alright, Steve-O, I saw it happening, but don't worry.
Mark's more used to battling around the P7.
I care about the battles going on in P7.
I'm just used to the battles at the front. That's all.
Wow.
Force of habit. I'm used to being up there. That's all I can say on the matter. As Lars has now dropped a Leddy. This is Don's chance to get him now. Don has to make the move to try and keep ahead of Major.
Harry is off. His front wing absolutely gone, and I think he's gone way too deep into the corner and has hit that barrier on the left hand side. Which of course is going to be a thing now in these conditions. Obviously you're going to drift wide in an understeer. As Major tries once again around the outside, he's going to actually cut back for a little bit of a switchback line. Draws alongside.
Leddy's giving Major some slipstream. Now he's giving Don a slipstream. Oh god, don't do this again, guys. Ah, no.
Oh, there it goes, Don.
And it's ended in tears. Oh dear.
I mean, that is why you don't go side by side.
Not in the rain.
In the rain. And that was an absolute shame, because I think Don had probably the best chance of beating Lars here tonight, but Major...
Especially with the penalties at the minute.
Yeah, Major with the 3-second time penalty. Now that's pretty much his victory gone out the window.
Steve could be on for P2 here. By the looks of it now.
Yeah, absolutely. No penalties to his name, but even Jess could be looking to pick up a couple of positions.
Yeah, Jess is looking for real good at the minute. Obviously there is slightly bigger gaps back there. Emperor may be the reason why to that.
Possibly, but you didn't hear that from us.
No. We did not say a word.
He's using his ERS. I thought for a second he was going to try and go around the outside of Bronchemont. He's diving it.
He's gone for it. It's aggressive. He's gone over the...
Oh no, Aledi!
Oh no, and it's Stephen's through. Steve-O's through. I don't think Aledi's going to be happy with that one, as Majors went to give the position back, and he's let Steve-O through, thinking it was Aledi.
And he's got a 5-second time penalty for gaining a position corner cutting.
Which is... What is going on here?
Chaos. That is what's going on, and right now in these conditions, anyone could take victory right now, even though Lars has a 3.7 second lead. It's not over until you reach that checkered flag, and in these conditions
100%.
It's more difficult saying that than actually achieving it.
As so, I'm right in saying it's Steve-O net P2 at the minute.
Yep, and I think that
Yeah,
Letty in the net P3.
yeah, as Major has 11 seconds worth of penalties. So yeah,
Obviously, at the end of this middle sector and the final sector, it looks a lot heavier than what it is in the first sector.
yeah. And the first sector mainly being a straight as well may help the drivers as well.
Lars is taking it nice and calm. He's lost a second to Major on this
He
lap,
can
but
afford
he's
to.
taking it calm.
That's the thing. In the position he's only got one lap left, he can afford to take it easy, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
As it almost looks time for Inters, in my opinion.
Yeah, but no one's going to box at the end, does. And now there's going to be absolute tiptoeing around the circuit now to get to the checkered flag.
Short shift central. It's going to be.
Yep, go down a gear extra than you normally would. Make sure you get that car turned in.
And what can people do? Can Lick snatch the P4 from Aledi? He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS.
We'll try around the outside.
Keep your ERS on, lad. He's got the move done very nicely indeed.
Oh, but he's run deep and already tried to maybe get his nose in it, but backs out wisely. It's going to be all about that run towards the bus stop, and actually Serial Killer's got his nose down the inside of Aledi, so Serial Killer's through.
These stop starts really come into play now, obviously with the little grip there is on the track. They should be much quicker at this stage. As Major's almost caught Lars here.
Yeah, but
As Licks is round. Yeah.
Heartbreaking for Licks tonight. He was on for the podium and just got into that position, but unfortunately.
Major, please don't try and move here. Just let. Not last lap. He does think better of it. And Lars will take the win in these horrendous conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a drag race to the line, but it is Lars that takes victory. Steve will come home in second. I believe Aledi will jump up into third place, so Aledi does
Major fourth. Serial Killer just missing out on fourth in the fifth place in the Red Bull.
I'm having all kinds of internet issues right now.
I
swear I've just seen both Emperor and Jazz flying.
I don't know how you've seen that.
They were literally not on the track at all. They were hovering. It was like some Back to the Future type thing.
That and with that is the end of the race.
I mean, it's almost the end of the race. I mean,
still got Ibo, Licks, and Reich to finish.
Ibo got points.
Reich took a very interesting line there. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, he could.
Carnival. Right there, lad. No, don't let things through.
He's let.
Yeah, but we talked about this before the race. He promised he wasn't going to let anyone through. He was going to battle.
Unless he was struggling for grip that much.
I mean, 17 lap old hards, fair enough. But now it's the end of the race.
Yeah, now it's the end of the race. Lars takes the victory for Mercedes once again, extending his already large lead in the championship even more so, with a very, very good display from the Mercedes driver.
Absolutely, and fantastic work from Lars out there. I mean, it was only him and ERS Major really that were
Yeah.
really up there.
Major, obviously, unfortunately for him, got penalties, which cost him the chance, really, a chance of beating Lars. Maybe if he didn't have any penalties, we would have seen some heroics into the last corner.
Yeah,
Uh,
and of course, the big thing for Steven is the fact that he did come second place, so he only dropped 7 points to Lars.
which is not
But
too bad.
yeah, the big loser of tonight is definitely Ryan Belshaw.
100%. As I'll quickly run through the grid. Lars, first to first, brilliant drive. Steve-O, P6 to P2, great drive from him. Aledi, P3, Major, P4, Serial Killer, P5, Swip, P6, Ghost Recon in 7th, Jess with a great drive from 17th on the grid to P8, Emperor as well, P20 to P9, Harry, P10, Master, P11, Lix, P12, Ibo 13th, Reich 13th, and then Don, Flip, Mason, Joseph, Frento, Ryan, all retiring and not being, unfortunately for them, not finishing the race.
Yeah, massively unfortunate for all of them, as I'm going to try and get our podium into the party.
As we wait, who would you say was your driver of the day, Mike?
Um, it's boring, but I have to go with Lars.
Wow.
I wanted to throw a random name out there, but you can't not.
Just, I probably would have said Lars as well, maybe, but because you did, I'm going to say Jess. I think she drove very well today, indeed. Kept it clean throughout, and
I would have given it to Ibo, but Ila.
yeah, so we can't afford to give him driver of the day as we now wait for the interviews.
Yes, and we'll see. Trying to get a lady in now. Not sure if a lady does jump into the podium interviews, but for some reason, his gamer tag's not coming up for me.
That's just what you love to see, really.
It really is. It legit isn't coming up for me. This is ridiculous. As I'm
If there wasn't an issue with some sort of party, would it really be a D5 race?
I'm going to send the invite to the top two first of all. And then I'm going to try and get a lady in now.
So, as I'll get underway with the question as we wait, hopefully to try and get a lady in. Lars, congrats on the win today. How was that for you?
It was a very interesting race, to be honest. Especially in the end of the race and the last few laps in the wet. It was, yeah, for me it was very hard. I was very cautious, especially from the last 2 laps. Yeah, but in the end, just it was a lot of fun the race. I just had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you probably would have known, Major did have 11 seconds worth of penalties. Is that why you decided to take it a bit easier those last few laps when the rain was coming down?
Yeah, I wasn't too much worried about him, just more worried about Steven.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just didn't want to spin and just ruin my race and my evening.
I know how you feel.
Unfortunate news, I cannot get a lady into the party. His gamer tag does not appear for me.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I have him maybe.
If you have him, could you send him an invite?
Yeah. One more question from me, Lars. Extending your championship lead, going into the break week, how does that feel?
We have a break week?
Yeah, break for Halloween next week.
Oh. Oh, well, oh, okay. Well, of course, that's very nice is always to extend my lead and have another race next weekend. I finally can do something, so that's a lot of fun too. But yeah, it's always good to still get a little bit more points than Steven. It's always the goal for every weekend.
Well done and congrats on your win. And Mike, any questions?
Yeah, just a one. See, on that first stint, we saw Major go for the undercut. Like, was you concerned when he went for the undercut, and of course when the safety car came out and he pitted?
A little bit. I thought the lap 4, I think he went in, was a little bit early. I was thinking before the race I want to get like in the end of lap 6, and I think I did so too. On my part, like with the tire management, was for me the best time to pit on my part, and I was trying to stick to it. He undercutted me a little bit, but he didn't have a lot of ERS, so could have easily overtaken back again.
Oh, very good. And obviously, break week next week. When we do return, it is going to be Monza, I believe, is up next. So, how are you feeling about the? I can't even say Italian Grand Prix anymore because we got it in Imola now as well. But how are you feeling about Monza?
I really enjoy Monza. I think it's always very fun. It's good for overtaking too. So there will be a lot of carnage, especially in turn 1. Hopefully I will survive that. And then, yeah, we will enjoy it for sure.
Okay, fantastic. That's my questions done, Ben.
Okay, so Stephen, congrats on P2.
Yes.
Obviously, maybe it didn't look from our point of view, maybe you didn't have the pace to keep up with the like of Lars and stuff today, but good and managed to get the result either way. How did you feel about your race?
It was awesome in the end, getting that second place. Qualifying didn't go to plan. I thought there's a few more attempts in there, but it was really difficult. I can't believe how close it was from 3rd to 13th, but yeah. The race start, I think I lost the position, and I wasn't doing that well, to be honest, but I think I lost good positions, and then late in the race I was down, I did an undercut on some people, it didn't work. And then late in the race I was 9th, and thought, oh, this is where I'm going to finish, definitely. But and then when the safety car hit the softs, like most people, and everybody was getting damp, it seemed to aid me a lot like Hungary. And there were people making mistakes and stuff like that. And then the last lap I was backing off quite a bit, and I knew if people had penalties and stuff like that, that major passed. I was going to get passed anyway. I knew 11 seconds of penalties, and just cruised the last lap, and really really pleased we got second there. I didn't expect it at all. It's really good. And my other two championship rivals riding a flip of DNF, so I can get a lot of peace of mind to the end of the season because I think Lars is going to get the championship definitely. I think and he's out of range there, but it's looking good for second. I think definitely.
Yeah, obviously. When you saw the safety car come out, did you always know that you was going to pit? 'Cause obviously, you knew that the rain was coming.
Yeah, because I thought if I'd stayed out and I'd overtook a few people, I'd have been sitting duck on their softs, been over a second quicker. So I was definitely going to pit for softs near the end.
And yeah, so obviously Italy, two weeks away. Anything like that track at all, or?
It's alright. I mean, I tend to do better when there's more downforce on the car. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, and just like Lars said, survive turn 1. We'll see how it goes, and it's another one stop again, isn't it? So, should be one stop. There's no safety cars in the rain or whatever. So.
Yeah, congrats on P2. Mike,
Cheers,
any questions?
Yeah, just the one. Obviously, like when the rain started to come, so you saw like the incident directly ahead of you between ERS Major and Ledi, which kind of opened the gap for you. Like obviously in those conditions, and when you see incidents like that happen, what was your mindset in focusing on trying to make sure that you don't get caught up?
Yeah,
in the crossfire? It's easy for anyone to lose their take you out as well.
Yeah, I was definitely cautious in when it was getting wetter. Definitely, like there's some people who are still pushing Val Rouge and stuff like that, but I was definitely backing off just in case something happened. in the west, that corner could be a pain. So
Yeah, and obviously, same question I asked Lars. Obviously, a break week next week, but Monza after that. How are you feeling as we go to the Temple of Speed?
say again, sorry. On the break week.
Monza being in the next race, how are you feeling about going into that?
We'll see how it goes. Really, I mean, so lower downforce tracks I don't do so good at. I mean, today was a bit of low downforce and I think quite good to plan with qualifying and during the race pace, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously, one more question. How I obviously with Ryan DNF tonight, a good points all over him for second in the championship.
Definitely, yeah.
Is that your aim right now, or are you
Yeah,
still like holding on hope that you can catch Lars?
Well, I mean, after my results at Hungary, when I gained like I think was it 15 points on Lars, I thought there's still a chance, but his outright pace is still at least a few tenths quicker. I think qualifying. So I'll try to get him in the rep. I'll try to get him, but I think he might be out of reach. I think he's actually out of reach now.
I wouldn't give up hope. There's still some very tricky tracks to come. Obviously, Mexico, Baku, and Suzuka being three I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah, so it goes.
Yeah, well, massive congratulations on your
P2,
and back to you, man.
So yeah, Eddie, congrats on P3. Your pace didn't look the best compared to others around you on the softs, but it looked a lot better in the second stint. Was there any reason behind this? Did you just not like the soft tyres, or?
Hello, Mike, Tinkan, Steve, Lars, congrats on the win. Yes, I wasn't really that confident in those softs at the beginning. I was trying above all to not make any mistakes. I knew that Lars had a great pace and also ERS major, so I was trying to stick with that third place and really didn't care about what will happen ahead of me. I mean, they started to fight and I could get a little bit near, but they were so fast, so I just said I would rather stick to this third place and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, I was going to, the second half of the stint you looked a lot better pace was. I think it did seem like you was able to keep up with Lars and Major quite well. And then the safety car happened. How were those last few laps for you?
Yeah, I tried to pull a move right after the safety car went in, so but I couldn't get that traction on turn one. Maybe I could stick with that first place, but I don't think that I would be able to hold it much longer. And right, I was checking that Steve, this is for you, man.
Yeah.
I think that you can get real close to Lars, because that consistency, not getting penalties, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You're really doing a nice job. And Lars can get. I know that Lars can get to a couple of bad races. It's not against you, Lars, but I just want to cheer up all the fellas that we are behind you, so we can get a little bit more motivated next race.
Okay. Speaking of the next race, obviously a podium today. You want to continue that momentum onto Monza?
Monza is one of my favorite tracks. Doesn't mean that I'm too fast in it, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to get at least my goal is to get in the first three, the top three in the championship. So I will try to stay consistent for that.
Okay, Mike, any questions?
I was gonna ask him obviously with the result tonight and DNF, and how does he feel about challenging the top three? But he just said that's his target. Obviously, I gotta ask you about the incident with ERS Major at the end there, because as my controller dies, that's fantastic. Yeah, so the ERS Major incident, what is your views on it before my controller dies again?
I'm sorry. I have a little
Control
cut
keeps
there.
connecting.
Hello.
Hello.
Um,
It seems I
Mike?
lost the connection.
Switch controller. Switch controller. That's how I do.
It's blame Mike.
Yeah. So
Okay.
obviously the ERS major incident. What was your thoughts on that?
On the move that he tried to pull.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it was a good launch. I didn't try to break late, and he thought that he could pull it off. I was trying to hold my position there. I didn't want to back up because I had this moment with him in Hungary where I didn't also, and it came very bad for me because I turned up spinning and I was fighting for first place. I had that moment in my mind, but I didn't want to fight it a lot because he had some penalties, so I didn't mind if he was going ahead of me. So no problem at all.
Very diplomatic. I was hoping to stir the pot a bit.
Of course you were.
And obviously, Tin Can asked about Monza being next, so we can check my other question.
Sorry about that. So I think with that, it's the end of the stream. So hope you all enjoyed watching. Obviously, I don't know if there's a race F2 on Monday. I don't know if it's in tiebreak week for that, but obviously no race next weekend. And then because of Halloween, and then the week after we are back again once again for Monza, which D1, D3 and D4 are 6:30, and then obviously the Division 2 and Division 5 10 past 8. Mike, any last words?
Yeah, just the one. I hope PlayStation over the next 2 weeks decides to sort itself out and actually let me stream for once. Like, it would be nice.
Yeah, so
Instead of rushing
PlayStation,
my
if you're
last
listening,
minute.
fix your game console. So yeah, with that,
Last
it's
last
been
minute
exciting, and that's been it. Eva Bryn Mike, got it right.
Ooh, no,
Ivor Bryn
no,
Mike.
no.
Ivor
There we
Bryn
go.
Mike. There we go. And see you all soon. Thanks for watching.